episode of Formula Pod. I know we didn't do an episode for Singapore, it was just that it was so much depressing for me as a Lewis fan to sit and record a podcast episode after his brakes failed, even though that was a good chase. But, we are back, and this time it is even more better. And in fact, the trio is so back. Mahir joins us back from London. Nathan, as usual, coming back from his busy work life as he recently started working. And then me right here just enjoying what Q4 can give at the best. Welcome, guys, to the show.
Wow, thanks, Arjun. That was such a nice introduction for all of us. We are so blessed. Happy Diwali to all my listeners and to the whole team as well.
Oh, yeah, happy Diwali. Again, I was just like walking down earlier today, and like the streets were just like filled with fireworks, even though like it's kind of banned. But then, there are like different ways of obtaining fireworks over here in
Yeah, fair
the
enough. Yeah.
non-legal ways, but whatever. But like, yeah, how's it going, guys? How's life been? it's it's
Nathan,
it's it's
I
such a
think
bad question to ask, but still go on.
I think
Yeah,
Nathan has a few things to say.
yeah. There are some fireworks here and there. It's not like because of Diwali or anything, but yeah. I mean, it's life, I suppose. But
Welcome to the corporate world.
oh yeah, thank you. No, I got a really good welcome. Like 2 weeks in, was fun. It was great. But we are here to talk about the race, so let's go.
Let's talk about the U.S. Grand Prix. Like, I want to kick it off with Mihir because we have none of our listeners heard him for a very long time. But like, go on. What were your thoughts about the U.S. Grand Prix?
Look, as much as I wanna go in detail, I'll make it very brief. I think Red Bull really dominated everything from the beginning, from the start. From the start, the Ferrari looked pretty good. Mid to end session, I think in the beginning they were fumbling here and there. I'm just looking at Nathan at this point.
This guy,
Um,
this guy. Every single time he talks about Ferrari, he just looks at
yes,
me, man. What?
in his eyes. Uh, Other than that, I think the McLarens are the only team that potentially could be a threat to Red Bull for the next coming races. McLaren's Lando Norris is really pressing it. I mean, the overtakes, the late breaks, the strategies, the sharp turns in a few laps that I saw. He's really comfortable, and for my learning is when there's such a big spike up, there's always a spike down, and I hope McLaren's ready for the downfall. Hopefully, if not, well, they've really done something with their car. But I would just like to say that we would like to hear Nathan's thoughts. I just love bullying
I would
Nathan
just
at this
like to
point.
say that we would like to hear Nathan. What? Oh,
Nathan's
that's thank.
desperate need to save Ferrari for
Yeah.
absolutely no reason. Because
Uh-huh.
Ferrari doesn't even know who you are, and you're still there
Yeah.
raising your
Ferrari.
hand up and saying, "Yes, please, I'm the savior. I could be one for
Like like
Ferrari."
like many other fans, I suppose. But look, I think the race was really funny. For me at
Okay.
least, it was really funny because to see McLaren as a team for me personally just I mean, I think McLaren this whole race weekend, the big summary for McLaren was that lap one incident in the sprint race for me. I mean, that was more than enough. That is McLaren's summary.
McLaren! Wow!
McLaren. I'm so cooked, guys. I haven't done this podcasting in like in like 2 months or so. I don't know when the last time I sat in front of this mic was, but seriously, McLaren are fumbling it. I really believe that. Or maybe not McLaren as a team, but I really think Oscar, I'm gonna
Yeah.
call him out. Oscar, my guy. I was rooting for him at the start, but look, I'm still rooting for him, but he needs to pull his socks up. Like he really needs to. And I don't know if that's because of him, that's because of the team, or it's because of the culture that the team has, and it's the environment that he's in. I don't know what it is, but there is a Max Verstappen catching up to both those McLarens. He's like 40 points behind, And honestly, that could become a reality. I mean, once we reach Qatar and UAE, the last two races of the season, um, you know, to have a three-way fight for the title is a dream come true. Honestly, I would take it. I would take it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the sprint again, that was a bit of a noob move, which kind of came up from Nico Hulkenberg, which ended up both the McLarens to kind of go off race. And
What lap was that?
clearly,
The
first lap itself,
first
The
turn,
oh yeah,
first
yeah, I
corner.
know what
first
you're
turn,
talking. Yeah,
turn one, turn one. As these guys are going down the hill, Nico Hulkenberg,
yeah.
what do you call, went in contact with Oscar. Oscar went in contact with Lando. Chain reaction. But again, I feel like the biggest people who have taken advantage of that are the Ferraris.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like the
Like
sprint and the Grand Prix.
without a doubt, I'm surprised actually. I'm surprised that Ferrari got the most out of that race because I mean, coming into the latter half or the latter stages of the season, as I think I've mentioned before, because of how good the Mercedes does in winter conditions or cold temperatures, I definitely expected them to take onus because George did have a really good race in Singapore, although it wasn't cold. It was I mean, Singapore is a completely, uh, different race altogether. But I expected the Mercedes, both the drivers, in fact, to be, rejuvenated because they both had their contracts renewed. So they both wouldn't have had that stress in their mind, at least, coming into this weekend. So I thought, the Mercedes boys would have been right up there. If it wasn't for McLaren, it would have been Mercedes. But we always know, I mean, Max is going to be Max. He's going to do his thing. But Mercedes just kind of disappointed.
You're giving me PTSD vibes of Perez getting his contract renewed and he's still finishing last.
Well, no, I mean, I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's that bad. Let's be honest. I think Russell's done a pretty decent job for what he's done. To be like, I
And
think, to be honest, my fourth best driver this season for sure.
Oh, okay.
may
Yeah,
you're just calling it like in the order of the of the drivers championship
which
because
is true.
because technically he is still in the fight to get the championship. But again, let's be realistic.
Mm, mm, yeah,
I always pray that Max Verstappen gets a DNF sometime during this particular time, but he never ends up getting it.
yeah. Look, you want him. Okay, let's talk about that later, right? Let's
Let's
talk
talk
about
about
that.
that later.
Let's
Let's
talk
talk
about.
about that later.
Yeah.
But again, it was a fantastic race, though. Absolutely, like nailed the part where, as I said, Ferrari was the biggest guys on advantage. At some points, I felt even Williams also bagged it out quite well. But like yeah, that incident, say for Carlos Sainz with Kimi Antonelli, that was so uncalled for, and like yeah, I felt really bad for him though.
He had a really good sprint race. Carlos did, and I think
And
that
like
Williams
yeah,
has some pace.
a second podium. He's
Yeah,
got a Grand Prix podium. He's got a sprint podium. What else you need?
a win. I mean, if you're going to talk about the next thing, I think it's a win. But I think he will get there. I mean, it's crazy because I think the first half of the season we were talking about how Carlos was, he was not doing his best,
Yeah.
and he was like he was lacking really bad. He was really bad
Hmm.
compared to Alex. But I'm really happy for him. As a Ferrari fan, I mean, can we go to another topic, please? Let's start talking about.
Well, I'm still going
Sure
to
we
stick
can,
around with
Nathan. Sure we
Ferrari
can.
for some more time, as Lewis Hamilton on one side ended up getting his 5,000th Formula One point, and he also holds an unwanted record of being the driver with the most podiumless races in Scuderia Ferrari.
Over to you guys. You guys can talk about this.
Ah, boy, Arjun, can you take this opportunity and talk about this? Because whenever someone says Mercedes, my head still turns to where's Lewis? Never mind.
No, so now he has basically like went ahead and taken that particular number of races from Dido Pironi. I don't know which year he was racing, but then like yeah, everyone thought at least he would be like in that list, like in the top two or something, but then now he is like on the top itself. Not the best thing for him to kind of being that. I actually thought with the kind of racing which was there was a real chance for Hamilton to get that podium. Like seriously, I thought. But then that safety car, and then Ferrari telling to lift and coast altogether, I just didn't like it. Something should be there with Ferrari. That's for that's always happening, whether you like it or not. But again, I'm not. I'm going to take a pause on Ferrari and get to Red Bull Racing. Can we give a huge credit to Yuki Tsunoda?
Hmm.
The guy got off on Q3 and he finished P7. Like, again, I feel like, let me put this forward. Do you think he actually deserves that second Red Bull seat, though?
For
No,
his sake, I will say no.
I'm gonna say I'm agreeing with Nathan. He shouldn't.
Because I truly believe he would do much better in a V car. For me personally, I really think that you put Yuki Tsunoda in any other car, I think he would do better than that P7 because I believe in his capabilities, and it's much better than whatever that second Red Bull seat is. I still believe that second Red Bull seat is cursed, even with Christian Horner out of the team. I mean, I think the reason why he got P7 is probably because of the fact that the Red Bull is good, and I think all of a sudden now the latter ends of this season, we're seeing the Red Bull in its, I guess, best form it's ever been in this season. I don't think we have ever
Okay.
seen the best of Red Bull before, haven't we? Have we? I
We
mean, I don't.
have. What are you talking about?
We
Max
have
and
where?
Ricardo.
No, this season.
This
Oh,
season
they,
you're
oh
talking
yeah, yeah,
about.
yeah. I thought in general, and I
No,
was
no,
like,
no, no,
whoa,
no.
there's so many
No, no, no.
more
I'm
new
talking about
people.
I'm talking about this season. I mean, the car is switched on, is finally back to winning races, and is finally had that kind of form because I think he started winning. He won Italy. He won Baku, didn't he? Yeah, he won Baku, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he won Baku. He came second in Singapore. So now the car is coming back to its, Max finally knows how to win now. So that Red Bull is coming back to its old glory days. But
Like the Lauren McKee is actually, like, his magic is kind of working in some ways, I would say.
yeah, I don't know if it is his magic or if the car just suddenly. It's very hard to say. It's very hard to say.
I'm gonna call it his magic because after Christian Horner only things kind of started improving.
You're actually
Yeah.
right. Because I feel like with Christian Horner, there was a lot of more politics that was involved. And obviously, not just Formula One politics, but obviously external politics that
Yeah.
was
Hmm.
involved him. So I'm pretty sure he couldn't. I don't blame him. With all the unwanted attention from outside, I'm pretty sure he couldn't really focus on Formula One. Especially if, I mean, when Red Bull decided to remove him at that time, I think filling up that gap and really understanding what Christian's mindset was, it's very difficult because a person like that, I'm pretty sure he would have a lot of secrets, a lot of things that he thinks twice before saying anything, just to make
Hmm.
sure that nobody, well, understands what he's trying to say. And just, I think he's more of a shower than a doer. Like he would show rather than tell people what it is. You know what I mean? um, but
Yeah.
also, it's really weird that you guys say this because when I was looking at the post race interview, they said that the Red Bull car was sliding a lot. It was slightly heavy on a few turns, which is crazy because in my head and in my vision, I see that the Red Bull was flawless. There was not even a small issue. So that makes me worry that these people are saying that. So if and they've obviously addressed the problems, so 50% of the problem solved because they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So future on now, they would try to reduce that, and that would make the car faster than, I don't know. Geez,
What's funny is actually the McLaren was the fastest car in the race. If you
yeah,
look
yeah,
at
you're
if
right.
if you look at the race pace of Norris, I mean, after I think he passed Leclerc, he was rapid. Like, I mean, I think the only reason why Norris finished second was because of that defense that Leclerc put. And let me tell you this: I will fight anyone who tells me that Leclerc isn't a good driver. Just watch this race. Now, I'm not saying that the Ferrari, is. I mean, there was no way that the Ferrari is like the third best car on the grid. I mean, let's be
Oh,
real here.
I
Apparently,
agree with you.
for this race, Ferrari was the third best car.
Sure, but let's talk about the season, Arjun. Let's talk about the season. Because, see, look, as much as a lot of drivers, especially these two drivers, I am so sure that they do not take every race, you know, they don't take things race by race. Lewis Hamilton is known for, building up, his confidence by each race. He takes every race in his stride and then does better, and that's what he's been doing these past few races. I mean, you look at the races
He's
before
improving.
Italy, he wasn't doing that great, but ever since Italy, he has been just performing well. He's been gelling well with the team. He's been doing great, and his performance have just been improving. So was Leclerc. And honestly, with that crap box of a car to defend a McLaren that is fighting for the title this season is incredible. And to be honest, dude, fighting a McLaren who was on mediums with a Ferrari that doesn't do well with tires at all, and he was on the softs in the first stint. I was thinking, okay, first 4 laps, he's gonna, put a defensive shape, and then by the fifth lap, Norris is just going to get DRS and just fly past him. Nay, that did not happen. And it's incredible that Leclerc could do that with that car. So, Ferrari, please make a good car. Please make a good car.
Why should we get this up on Instagram? I'm so putting this up.
No.
I'm so putting this up.
Sorry,
No.
I just have to add on something. I was on Twitter the other day, and I was just looking through like a few tweets from all the Formula One drivers and teams, and someone randomly just said, "Oh, whenever Ferrari focuses on street cars, they don't do well in Formula One. But when they focus on Formula One, the legal street cars, the design and the tech always has faults." So, and
No
also Ferrari
wonder.
is also focusing on luxury wear now, because I was
EVs, I heard the EV part.
yeah,
And
and
they lost like $10 billion in market value.
yeah. So I really think Ferrari should really sit down with its leaders and whoever are they, and really like sort themselves out a bit.
Yeah,
It's not too late.
and also, I don't know if you guys have seen this, where there were rumors that Christian Horner is going to lead the team, and I was like, what? And how that's going to happen? Like Christian Hamilton, sorry, Christian Horner.
My guy already started shipping them before they even joined the team. He is shipping Christian Horner and Lewis Hamilton. Christian Hamilton. Whoa. We're so cooked, guys. We're so cooked. Seriously.
But like, yeah, Christian Horner and Lewis Hamilton, both of them don't like eye to eye. Like Christian Horner hates Hamilton, and Hamilton equally hates Christian Horner.
That all changes when there's money involved, right?
But
Yeah. I mean, let's be real here, guys. Come on. Let's be real here. I mean, it all changes when there's money involved. But look, I think Fred is doing a pretty decent job. And
no, Fred is, of course, Fred is doing a decent job.
yeah,
Ag-
and I don't think we need a change in leadership. I mean, so far, I mean, every single thing that he's done has been a positive step, except for the fact that the car is really bad. And that is something that they really need to look at, because they came into the season wanting to change 98% of the car, which obviously wasn't the right step. Um, but I
Have they
guess
changed the car? That's the question.
I think they have. I think they have. I mean, that's what they at least that's what they they said when they
Because
came into the season.
because I know last year they were going to Abu Dhabi having a clear chance to win the championship,
Yeah.
and they removed that changed the 98% of the car.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, I'm sorry to say, you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, they shouldn't have. It's very obvious because they were fighting for the championship in the last 4 or 5 races. I mean, there was a stat as well. I think last year, the person who has scored most points since Austin was Charles Leclerc with 107 points. Max Verstappen was second with 106, and Sainz was third with 103 or so. Both the Ferraris together in the last 5, 6 races of the season scored a total of 200 points.
But
I
Yeah.
who
mean,
won? But who won? It's Red Bull.
obviously.
If nobody remembers the fact that Ferrari. Honestly, if you ask me, and I'm gonna cut you off right now.
Okay.
Spoken to a lot of people, like a lot of people about Formula One, right? They don't give two shits about Ferrari. They don't give two shits about Mercedes. They just care about who won, which was Red Bull. In fact, the whole of UK, which is very surprising because obviously Mercedes is all about UK and 44 and stuff, right? Since Lewis Hamilton left, it's all been Red Bull. Like everyone's been like, "Oh my god, Red Bull! Yeah, Red Bull! Let's go, Red Bull!" Fucking hell! And I was like, guys, Mercedes headquarters is like 45 minutes from here. You can't say shit like that.
I mean, you go back to the 2000s, back in Germany and back in Italy and back everywhere in Europe. Everyone's talking about Michael Schumacher.
Yeah.
That's the whole rave. I mean, you go then back to 2010, 2011. Everyone back in Germany forgot about Michael Schumacher and they're praising the new guy, Sebastian Vettel.
Mm.
So every, you know, I suppose Maverick is going to get praised at some point. There was a Lewis era. Now there's a Max era. And now don't know whose era is going to be next.
Is it a Lando era, Oscar era, or a continued Max era?
Personally, I think it's going to be Lando Norris because the way he's driving these days, he's quite ruthless. He doesn't. He knows that Daddy Zach, will pay all the fines as much as because he's doing everything to make McLaren the top team. And to be honest, the way he's when Lando at lap 21, Lando Norris overtook Charles, right? The Ferrari car, Nathan Ferrari, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, he overtook him, and he braked really late, so Charles had to give him the upper hand, and that was a phenomenal risk that he took because obviously that costed him a position up, which is amazing. You think Lando Norris would do that
He
ever?
should.
If yeah, but that's because he's confident right now. But
Yeah,
like a few years ago, he wouldn't even think of having top five.
definitely. That's true. And I
So,
believe that he should have the confidence because of the car that he has.
oh
And,
yeah,
and
for sure.
see, so my point here, Mihir, is the fact that I'm surprised that he didn't make the move in lap 10 or lap
Can
11
I
or
tell,
lap 12.
can I tell you why?
Tell me
Because
why.
this guy has already crossed his limits for track. So he was already on radar for going
Yeah.
over limit. So he had to be extremely careful because anything can cost him time now, and that's the last thing McLaren want. So
You
he's
know
played
what?
his move.
Yeah, and I'm really glad you said that because isn't that a skill issue? Because what's funny is in the cool down room when Lando was talking to both Max and Charles, Lando literally said, "This race, I wish it was easy." And both Max and Charles looked at Lando like, "What? What do you mean?" Have you seen that clip, Arjun, of
No, I didn't.
Lando of Lando complaining?
I didn't see that part. Oh, I have to watch
So
that.
so Lando and they all were talking in the cool down room saying how this track is amazing, which I do agree. This track is really nice to drive on and to, even race. Unfortunately, we couldn't see so many passes because of the DRS limitations that we had. But in previous years, this track was amazing. We had so many battles, especially down into turn 12. But Lando decided to comment and say, "Yeah, I wish this track was easy." I mean, you are driving the fastest car this season and you said you wish this track was easy. I mean, what do you want more? Like the
I don't
P1
understand.
on a silver platter? Like, what do you
I don't
need?
understand. I really don't understand. This guy won the race last year,
Exactly.
and you're telling, oh, it should have been easy. Like, might as well go to some random, what do you call, Barcelona or something, and just drive there, straight track.
This is what I see. Max wouldn't say this. Lewis Hamilton wouldn't say this. Nico Rosberg wouldn't say this. I mean, to come out and say a statement like that, I mean, I don't know. Are you world championship material or what? Like, is this a confidence issue? I mean, you have the whole
Okay,
team backing you.
okay. I think you're deepening this too much. I think
No,
you
I
just said
know,
it
I
out
know,
of,
I know, I know.
but
I think you
seriously,
just said it out of tiredness and out of banter. Like Lando Norris is not that
true.
serious in life.
Yeah, true. But like, you're fighting for a championship, and you
True.
you 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 really need to, like, I mean, seriously, like, what I'm trying to say is, when you have the car that's there and it's working for you, it's it you should have that confidence. I mean, you've won so many races this season already. Fair, Oscar Piastri has been very close, and has been fighting you, but you are having the upper hand right now, and he seriously does. Lando Norris, to me, has the upper hand in the championship fight compared to Oscar Piastri at the moment. At the
Yeah,
moment, and he needs to take that confidence and use it. And I thought I would see a bit more of a positive move from Lando. I mean, at least against Charles. I mean, come on, it's a Ferrari,
yeah.
and it's not a Mercedes. It's not another McLaren that he's fighting. It's not Max Verstappen's Red Bull. It's a Ferrari, and it's coming from a Ferrari fan. So I
No,
don't know.
but like, again, yes, you're saying this. But let's be honest, again, pace wise and stuff, Ferrari has improved a bit. I still got to give it to them. It can be like a sort of an improvement, but at the same time, you've got the McLaren kind of going on a bit of a downfall. Because with the past couple of races, you're not like, say, Singapore. We saw Lando win. Which you call, we've seen McLaren perform really well on that track. But then it was just that it wasn't like it ended up in George Russell's favor. And now with Austin over here, it could have been Lando's race or it could have been McLaren's race, but that didn't happen. So it can also be even say a sort of a downtrend which is kind of starting to come up because with the European leg of the season, McLaren like dominated it absolutely. But with this American side of it, again, if you look at it, say, and in Miami, and now we are in Austin, heading to Mexico, and onwards to Sao Paulo, and then Las Vegas. Where Las Vegas, I clearly know it's a Mercedes race because of how cold the weather is
Hmm.
and how Mercedes can turn things up a bit. Again, land like I think there is that sort of a downtrend which is starting to get a bit more evident because from Baku onwards, I'm observing this.
Do you think it's because, and this is a really hot take, because they won the constructors championship, you know for them, McLaren as a team have kind of, finished, or they basically have done their objective of the season, and fair enough for them, because as a team, to win the constructors is the top achievement of any team. I mean, every team wants to win the constructors.
No, absolutely. No, I
So
feel I feel say they have now their prize money locked in.
correct.
The hun the $100 million what they're getting in from that prize pool, that's locked in. Now I just feel like, say, what McLaren should be doing right now is allow their drivers to race.
Question
Don't end up doing this papaya rules bullcrap, please.
question to you guys about that. What do you guys think about McLaren treating their drivers? At least these past few races, ever since the summer break, I would say.
What do you feel?
No, I'm asking you guys. I want to know.
But I'm asking you now.
Arey, my question was to you guys. You can't
My
throw the
question
question back
is
to me. See, I want
okay,
to know your opinion, and then
okay.
then you can ask
I
me. Fine.
no, okay. So I feel like there it was so what I'm trying to get to is the charisma that they had with Zach. I think it's slightly fading away, and this I think McLaren knows that they're the shit in this race, so they're kind of letting themselves lose. Could be a very different way of thinking, but that's
Hmm.
they're very. I feel like McLaren's become like the younger brother for Red Bull, like the way they used to act way before, ruthless. They don't care about rules. They got money. It's okay.
Hmm. What about you, Arjun?
Well, I think, yeah, with the treatment of drivers again, Lando, yes, he has been with the team for quite a long time, and Oscar in between just came in, and by then, like, things turned around. It's not Oscar's fault that the car ended up becoming good in a short span of time, compared to Lando ending up driving the shitbox for a very long time.
Hmm.
But again, with even seeing more documents that say, oh, Zach used to be the CEO of Lando's company Quadrant, and then again, all those theories kind of coming in and stuff. Again, we don't know how much truth is there to that, but again, these are like public information out there. But I think that the the garage is leaning towards Lando than Oscar.
Mm.
I
Well,
personally think.
yeah. Well, I have the opinion that the garage is not leaning to any driver, and they only want to win the World Constructors Championship. I mean, seriously, have you guys seen how they've treated Lando and Oscar, regardless of whoever is right or wrong? The way how they have PR trained both those drivers to basically go out to the media and just say, "Oh, we're all best friends." Look, I understand that they want to keep it peaceful between both their drivers. I get that, but I also believe that they should drive. They are drivers. They're racing drivers at the end of the day, not PR train machines. Like, I get that they want to keep their stakeholders happy, their sponsors happy, and they want to achieve the goals that their sponsors have kept, which is obviously win the constructors and whatever, blah, 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 the external factors that are there. But let them race. Let them race. Do not make any changes. For example, the biggest one that really knocks my head is Italy. When Lando had the pit stop that went wrong, there was no need to change the position. Just let them race. It's part of racing. If your team fumbles the pit stop, it happens. It's racing. Get on with it. There is no need to change the positions. I mean, if you're changing positions, you're kind of manipulating the whole, result of the race. You're trying to fabricate the whole point of why drivers want to race. I mean, do you want that as a driver? I don't know. I'm not a Formula One driver, right? So I don't know how they feel, but I'm pretty sure Formula One drivers wouldn't like that.
We actually had this conversation when we were in Monaco, and Lando used a very specific term. We don't want races to be manufactured.
Yeah, it's
I'm
funny
going to
that's
use
coming
that
from him.
no, because that word is very strong. Manufacture.
Hmm.
Because again, team orders agree. This is not something which is like a new thing. We have seen that ages and ages ago. What Rubens Barrichello on Michael Schumacher. We've seen Nico with Lewis. We've seen Fernando with Lewis. We've seen it with, say, Verstappen with Ricardo. Now, like, we have like an endless list that goes on.
Hmm.
But I do agree with you in terms of, like, again, if you've had a shitty pit stop, if your driver is a skilled guy, he will close the gap and he'll make it through.
Exactly. And that's how it should be. I mean, there and at the end of the day, I'm surprised that none of them have decided to go against the team and decided to race. Well, fair on them. They probably have clauses in their contract that have rules that say that if you go against team
Hmm.
orders, there's some issue or there's some problem. Maybe there is something like that. But seriously, let them race. We need to see them both fight on track.
I would like to add the point where, when everything is going the way it should go, there's no point you complaining about it. So they know that if they if they say anything towards the team or towards anything, they might be a threat, because maybe we don't know things that they know. Maybe McLaren's looking for a new driver. Maybe Oscar is a threat. Not Lando for sure, because Lando is McLaren's baby now. But Oscar may be a threat. So maybe Lando doesn't want to say anything because he knows he has an upper hand. So saying anything or coming second or not coming, maybe he's not finishing podium for some reason. There has to be something going on. But for Oscar, I'm telling you, he's under threat since the beginning. This is the whole Red Bull era again, where one team is leaning towards one driver, and the other one just is there just because the rules are set that there has to be two drivers for one team. That's
Mhm.
how I feel for Oscar. Even though he's a very crucial part of McLaren, and don't get me wrong, the second driver is as important as the first driver. But when the first driver outshines or is consistently outshining, what do you do? Now, if it would have been a very different story if this would have been Max and Ricardo, because they were equally better. I would say in terms of PR, Ricardo was better, but in terms of racing, Max was better. So it was that combination was phenomenal. But obviously, I don't think I was blessed to see that in real life, and I'm pretty sure you guys have as well. But the
Yeah.
current generation won't understand what I'm talking about. Guys, make sure that you go online, search up a few races of Max and Ricardo, and you'll see what I'm talking about. That was one of the best eras in Formula One, I feel.
And I also want to touch base on this bit on like after the bits in Singapore as they came down to Austin, McLaren used the word repercussions.
Mm.
I was getting to that.
And
Yeah.
and this repercussions, what exactly is the repercussions?
God only knows, Arjun. I
Because
seriously
again,
like.
I was listening to, I think I listened to like about 4 to 5 different podcasts focused on Formula One
Mm.
on the, like say as a pre to the sprint race, and everyone focused on this repercussions being that there would be some sort of a sporting penalty, say in as Nathan said earlier, that okay, with McLaren they are not focused leaning toward, the garage is not leaning towards one driver, but they just want things to be like harmonious. So probably again the sporting penalty will be in some form of, say, when they're taking crucial team decisions, it's more going to favor towards Oscar than Lando. Like there is again speculations are there in terms of what exactly these repercussions are. But like, yeah, any thoughts on that though? Like what exactly could that be?
I mean, considering the fact that we are talking about McLaren here, I cannot believe any word that they say as a team. Like seriously, I cannot believe any word. Like they're as useful as, the boy crying wolf. They really are. I mean, they are literally the boy crying wolf. I mean, I don't know if that's like a hot take or whatever, but it's true. I mean, every single statement that the drivers say, it's all PR trained. Even with Zach coming out and talking about, Nico Hulkenberg and all of that. Okay, probably it wasn't like it's funny that he blamed Nico and then he had to retract the statement, which was hilarious. And Andrea as well. I mean, there is a lot of things that are happening within McLaren that we don't know. There are a lot of, I don't know what it is. No one knows what it is, but there are a lot of things that are happening in McLaren. And I think that's the reason why we are getting this sort of fake manufactured sort of championship in some ways. Um, who knows what the repercussions are? I mean, who is it for? Is this for Oscar? Is this for Lando? Is this not for both the drivers? Is this for like the strategy team of both those drivers? Uh, who knows? Who knows? I mean,
Here, what do you think though?
It's just internal politics. There's nothing more we can say anything. I think we should really move on to the next topic because I think we've discussed this a lot.
Yeah,
Um,
like moving on. Can we also kind of give a bit of an appreciation to Nico Hulkenberg and Fernando Alonso? Both of them doing quite spectacular on the racing part. That's him. Even though on that first turn one incident, what actually cracked me up was Yuki Tsunoda's car was holding Nico Hulkenberg's front wing until like turn 11.
It gave him extra downforce for sure.
I think
Needed that.
probably they like the car was bottoming out, but
Mm.
on the wing.
Some would say that Max actually hired two agents in Nico Hulkenberg and Fernando Alonso to take both McLarens out. I mean, seriously, they're all great friends, by the way. Max, Alonso, and Nico. They're all so close to each other. So I wouldn't even count that out as like a. It could be true. Who knows? But who knows,
That's
right?
so bad.
Yeah. But anyway, um, yeah, no, those drivers. I mean, Nico finally back into the points. I'm so happy for him. I mean, Gabby
Like
has been.
after Silverstone, he came back onto the points.
Yeah, I mean, Gabby has been outshining, him as the Sauber teammate. But now he's finally back, and I hope he, stays consistently in the points.
Yeah, and if you look, say, from a point standpoint, also, even though Alonso has lost a bit of points, he is still kind of catching back there. And again, what actually surprised me was now Carlos Sainz, or in fact, both the Williams drivers are ahead of the Aston Martin pair in the championship. As in Carlos Sainz, I think what you call before Baku was like in some 17th or 18th, sorry, 16th or 17th.
Mm-hmm.
He's now 11th. He's just 1 point away from Isaac Hadjar, and he's just 3 points away from Nico Hulkenberg.
Wow. Yeah. Look,
And because after Hulkenberg, it's basically his teammate Alex Albon with 73 points.
that's how close the midfield is. That's how insanely close the midfield is. I mean, it's crazy.
Man, trust me,
Actually,
next is gonna be one hell of a year. I feel.
yeah, you never know. It's new regulations. We could see a close pack. We could also see a Mercedes like season where one team just gets the right car, has the right formula in terms of the engine that they have, in terms of the package that they have, in terms of the aero chassis, whatever,
But then
and
I
they
feel
just
like
dominate.
the next year's car is not very aero heavy, right?
It's not very
Bec-
aero heavy, and that's why it's scary, because if a team, for example, a manufacturing engine team like Mercedes gets the engine right, then I'm pretty sure the manufacturing team has the upper hand because they made the engine specific for the car. And then every customer team of that same engine will also have an upper hand compared to other teams, because Mercedes. I mean, I think there are like 5, 6 teams powered by Mercedes next season.
Yeah.
How many?
you've got Mercedes, you've got Alpine, you've got Williams, you've got McLaren.
Oh, so it's still four
Four.
because Aston Martin's going to Honda.
So
Right.
we've got Honda, Audi, Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, Ford.
Mm.
So that's five constructors we've got.
Oh, dude, just imagine if Audi get the engine right and no one else got that engine right. I mean, that itself is it
They
just
will
reminds me of Braun GP.
exactly.
Just reminds me
But
of
that,
Braun GP.
but that is so rare, Nathan.
That is
No,
very rare, for sure.
I feel like Audi as a automobile company, I think they have a lot to learn. You can study as much as you want. You can research as much as you want. But once you're in that grid, there's so many things that you need to take care of. Not just engine maintenance, but when we can do simulation till the most accurate number, but you cannot predict anything that happens during a race time. So I think it will take them a couple of years to really understand how Formula One engine works and stuff. But if they
Definitely.
do, which is like maybe I'm giving them a one like a 0.% chance.
Definitely.
If they do it, it would be crazy, dude. Like
It would be
that would
crazy.
be phenomenal for Audi.
Yeah, it would. And they've never competed in Formula One ever. So for
But they
them,
are quite. They are sorry to cut you off, but they are quite. They're quite familiar with motorsports,
oh yeah, no,
with other
definitely.
motorsports.
For
So
sure.
that
For
could
sure.
be an upper hand
Yeah.
for the rest.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I mean, unlike a team like, let's say, BMW, who has been in F1 or has been in the paddock, if they had to return back, they at least have some experience, either as like, okay, maybe they're title sponsor, but either they were part of Williams, they still had that F1 heritage in some ways. But
Mm-hmm.
Audi has never had that F1 heritage, if I'm not mistaken. They obviously have rich history in World Endurance
Right.
Championship, so and also World Rally Championship, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But I'm like, as I'm just kind of gonna kind of bring this to wraps. But um, I'm gonna pull this bit. Um, According to you, who was the driver of the day for the U.S. Grand Prix?
This science is not good, guys. I don't want to answer first.
I mean,
Okay, let me start. I'll kick it off. According to me, I feel the driver of the day is Yuki Tsunoda. I personally feel
Why do you
cool.
like
feel this way, Arjun?
impressive recovery on a max oriented car.
Max, sorry.
Right. Okay, understood.
What is that reaction, bro?
I did not
Understood.
expect him to say that. I expected him to
Dude,
say something else.
seriously, my chat GPT can give me even more better expressions.
Okay, man, it's fine, bro.
Go,
He
go
was
talk to him
actually.
again.
He was. Yeah, yeah. That's no. That's a good shout, man. I mean, that's a pretty good shout for him as driver of the day. Sure, I don't know what race you were watching, but for me, as a Ferrari fan, I mean, I'm obviously not going to say anyone else. It's got to be my boy Charles Leclerc.
Okay,
To
let's just Nathan, just for a minute.
hey, hey, are you
Just
going
for
to
a
fight me
minute.
on this again? Are
I'm
you-
not. I'm just saying this. Let's just be honest. Who do you
Okay.
think other than Ferrari? But if you genuinely feel it's a Ferrari driver. Give us and the listeners a
Mhm.
very valid point, and we will consider it to be a statement from your side.
He did not let Lando Norris win the race. It's as simple as that.
He did.
Lando had the fastest car.
But he had Max Verstappen win the race.
That's
That's
fine.
even more.
You
That's
know,
even more of a trouble.
see, you have to understand the context, Arjun. There's more than just, looking at the result and saying, "Oh, Max was the winner." Look, Lando had the upper hand. He had the better car. You see the pace in clear air of Lando. You compare that to Max, and Red Bull coming out and saying that the car was sliding here and there. It's true that Red Bull is not at its best. That McLaren, on the other hand, was insane. As soon as it got into clear air, you compare the pace of both Max and Lando, it's night and day. So imagine if Lando had passed Leclerc earlier, he would have easily caught up. I am giving you guarantee he would have easily caught up. Maybe the pass would have been difficult. That's because Max is a hard driver to pass. I mean, we saw it last year, the way that both Lando and Max fought. Maybe that wouldn't have happened, but I'm so sure that McLaren could have caught up to Max's Red Bull so easily.
I'm I'm still finding it a bit difficult. You see, from a championship perspective,
Okay.
Lando is second place with 332 points.
Hmm.
Leclerc is on the fifth place with 192 points.
Hmm.
That's I think roughly about, say, more, like definitely more than 100 points
Uh-huh.
of a gap.
Yep.
He clearly is not going to do in the next 5 races. Is going to kind of get the 100 points straight off.
Okay.
Like, he's basically not in for the championship fight. There is like nothing to kind of go head on head with. Ferrari is definitely not being the constructors champions. No, Leclerc is fighting for championship.
Yeah, but Ferrari are fighting Red Bull in the constructors championship. They're really close, by the way. Before the 3-4 finish of Ferrari, Red Bull was like, what, 7 points behind Ferrari. So if Ferrari had messed up this race, Red Bull would have easily overtaken Ferrari this race weekend. So
No,
you have to think about the third position and fourth
yeah,
position
but still,
constructors championship as well.
but still, realize this:
Hmm.
you gave it to what you call, you're giving your direct rival, who's now 3 points ahead, behind on constructors championship, because Ferrari is 334, Red Bull is 331. He should be fighting Max. not Lando.
You think after watching this whole season, you think Leclerc is going to fight Max Verstappen?
Who knows?
Well, that's not the case. We know Ferrari is not the second or third best car on the grid. We know the Ferrari has been the worst. I mean, you tell me, Arjun, how the Ferrari has been. Are you comfortable as a Lewis Hamilton fan to say that Ferrari are the second best car on the grid? And if you say yes, then I will ask you back. Why has Hamilton not won? Why has Charles Leclerc not won a race? Why has Charles Leclerc only got one pole position? How has this happened? We easily
It's
know McLaren and Red Bull have had the upper hand.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Even in that list, you can even include Mercedes as well.
For sure, definitely.
Okay, hear me out. With Ferrari, naturally there is something called as STRAGERY strategy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That strategy department is a shit show
Mm-hmm.
at Ferrari.
Yeah.
Okay, if the car is right, the strategy will be wrong. If the strategy is right, the car will be wrong. There isn't a sort of equilibrium between both departments, which for the other teams it's there.
Yeah. Well, sure. For most of them. I mean, for most of the
Like,
teams.
okay, let's leave McLaren or this one aside. Take Mercedes.
Yeah.
Okay, they were struggling at first. They were not getting the results they expected for. There was a time where Ferrari was still ahead of Mercedes,
Mm-hmm.
but then Mercedes took over
Yeah.
and now has bought in not a big gap, but then like a okay-ish gap within two Grand Prix. They've bought in like I think roughly about 7 points if I'm not wrong,
Mm-hmm.
because it's 341 and 334.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they have got themselves to improve a bit. George is consistently getting into top five.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing his bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that because, oh, both one side is wrong and one side is right. It's kind of going in a tandem, and they're developing the car.
Mm-hmm.
And we clearly know races where Mercedes will actually win the race.
Sure.
Okay. In Ferrari's case, I've only seen that one time in Shanghai Sprint where Lewis had the car. There wasn't interference from strategy. He did the job, won the sprint race,
Mm-hmm.
got the sprint pole,
Mm-hmm.
fair and square.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the case?
What happened to the rest of the season? What happened after China?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No. So
If
that's what I'm
strategy
also.
is working, this is not working.
Okay, but you should also talk about how bad the car was after China. Let's not forget that the reason why Ferrari did so bad in the race in China, by the way, was because how low the car was, and both the cars had to get disqualified. Ever since then, Ferrari's performance had to be they had to change the car because they couldn't keep it that low. Or else in every other race, if they had to chase for performance, they would get their cars disqualified because of plank wear. So they had to change up the formula. So ever since then, has the car performed up to your standards, Arjun, of getting the pole positions, of getting those sprint wins? Let me remind you, the only time the Ferrari has gotten a pole position in a race weekend, a pole position for the race, is Hungary. So you tell me, Arjun, how the car has been this season. You think it's as good as defending Lando Norris? You think
Sorry,
it's a car that's no
can I just
serious?
my driver of the race was Lando Norris for taking so many turns but you guys go ahead. I just forget about my answer. You guys go ahead. I want to hear this.
No, but like it's funny that you guys don't think that Charles does not deserve his praise to keep Lando behind. I mean, that's crazy. Really?
See, I'm just putting in my personal opinion over here.
Okay.
Okay, because when we do the show, we always kind of have this bit that all of us are entitled to our personal opinion. Doesn't mean this is something which altogether we're just putting in through.
Yeah.
Because we have got our own takes on things.
Yeah.
I personally felt that again, which you call McLaren as a constructor have done their job.
Mm-hmm.
won the championship.
Mm-hmm.
Lando's fight is now with Max.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're basically a constructor. You've got Max, which single-handedly is lifting up Red Bull, because it should not be called Red Bull, it should be called some Red Max or something. Because it's pulled up by Max. Your fight should be with someone else, not
Mm-hmm.
with Lando. That that is my point. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
feel, because from my lens, I just feel like, again, Ferrari had a strong car. I am not going to deny they had a strong car in Austin.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
they had
agree.
they had a strong car. Best, I would say, the best performance from a race weekend ever in this season.
Sure. Sure. With Lewis backing up Charles, yes, I do agree. Yeah.
Like, we saw a team effort over there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
versus which you call you're kind of, but then if you're looking what do you call McLaren and for Red Bull, we're basically talking about like if Leclerc is fighting Lando, he's basically allowing to close that gap between Red Bull and Ferrari, which I personally feel is not a logical move.
Okay. So you
I
also
personally feel
said that Lando and Red Bull are fighting each other, right? Because they're also in the championship fight as well. So
Lando and Max.
Lando and Max, fine. Lando and Max. So that means Ferrari and Charles are nowhere in that championship fight, right? Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
They're nowhere. So Lando should have easily passed Charles. Correct?
yeah.
Yeah. But he didn't. Did he?
Okay, let me ask this. Fernando, if normally a car is behind Fernando, do Fernando let them go easily?
No.
If if Fernando had Lewis on his back, on his tail, do you think Lewis, like Fernando, will allow Lewis that easily?
No.
No, it's the same thing.
Yeah, but the point that I'm trying to make here, Arjun, is the fact that Lando's fight is not with Charles, it's with Max. Lando could have easily passed Charles with the car that he has, with the pace that he showed in clean air. It was seriously this more superior car on the grid and in that track. So for me, for Charles to be able to keep him behind for that many laps was a good was just the best. I mean, think about it. You, for example, if you're Carlos Sainz and you're able to keep Lando Norris behind, you would consider that as an epic feat, wouldn't it? Because
Yeah.
look at where Williams is and look at where McLaren are. I
Yep.
believe that for Charles to be able to do that with that car, and let's also be honest, in that first stint, they both were not in the same, they both did not have the same car, in the sense one had the soft tires, one had the medium tires. The soft tires, grain out and they wear out faster. And
Yep.
that soft tires was supposed to just literally in 5, 6, 7, 8 laps disintegrate. But he was able to keep Lando for 15, 16 laps. And Lando was not able to push and to pass him before that. That, I believe, for Charles and for Ferrari is a big win. And that's why I believe, with the confidence that Charles has in the car right now, that he's able to keep Lando Norris, who is fighting for the championship with a World Constructors' Championship winning car, he's able to keep him behind. I believe, my personal opinion is that he is my driver of the day because of what I said,
It's fair.
basically. See, we didn't have to we didn't have to talk about it for like 30 minutes, bro.
Well, see, there was a bit of a digression which kind of happened, which was great.
Yeah.
Works, works pretty well, because you realize we are a podcast. People, people would love that live debate that happens.
Sure.
But
Sure.
again, moral of the story, like, yeah, I agree. Like, again, because now I support Ferrari because of Lewis Hamilton. Yeah, I gotta give. I'll kind of give it. I just I personally felt it was for someone like Yuki Tsunoda just because he took the opportunity at the right time, got his places in, did the job. But like yeah, and Mihir clearly told Lando because he was just going corners and doing his job. So yay. And yeah, just to kind of wrap everything off, this particular race we had like 6 cars go in 6 special liveries. Let's Out of that 6 special liveries, which according to you was your best one though? Or which you liked the most?
When I have to say McLaren, I think those cars look outstanding. Like not outstanding, like oh my god, outstanding, but like they look different from different cars because the orange and the white and the gray and the Google logos. I think it's pretty outstanding car.
I would have still loved them in that chrome livery though if they came out with a chrome livery. But yeah,
I
fair
mean,
enough.
yeah, I mean, of course, but we're talking about this race. I'm talking
Yeah,
about
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, I think generally they do a really good job with liveries. McLaren,
yeah, yeah.
they do
They
a really
have
good
to.
job.
The sponsors they've got, they really have to position their op. Yeah, true.
Yeah, their cars look really nice. I do agree with me here. I liked how the McLarens looked.
Well, for me, like the McLarens look nice, but I will give it a bit to Williams as well. Bringing
Yeah.
in, reliving older livery on a race as classic as Austin, and kind of getting that in. And I think, and if I'm like correct, like please tell me this: who was racing back in? I know it was a BMW Williams back then. Who
Mm,
was it? Was
which
it
year though are we talking about?
2002? 2002.
Oh, that was
Oh,
not BMW Williams. I don't think
I
so.
Really?
don't think Benetton. No, Benetton was BMW era. Never mind.
No, Benetton was a completely different team, I
Yeah.
think. No, that
Was it
year wasn't that one
Jaguar?
Pablo, no one Pablo Montoya racing with Williams. I remember him and Kimi and Schumacher having fights during that era. I think it was him in the Williams. I remember it being blue and white, but I
Yeah.
don't think it was BMW. I remember a Williams BMW when Sebastian was doing his test for Williams. I remember that. And Kubica as well, driving for that
No, so
BMW Williams team.
I just did a quick Google search. So it was a BMW engine though.
Oh, it was a BMW engine.
It
Wow.
was a BMW engine driven by Ralph Schumacher and Juan Pablo Montoya.
Ah, yeah. That was an elite driver pairing.
Gotta say, definitely gotta say that was that's an amazing lineup. But like yeah, we are moving towards our last 5, guys. We're wrapping up the season this like very quickly now.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, new year, new podcast. Let's see.
And
Well, I mean, he is already
and
thinking about 2026. Like
Yeah,
he's
dude.
done with
I'm Red
2025.
Bull, baby. I'm Red Bull. I'm thinking future.
but like yeah, we are heading down to Mexico for the Mexican Grand Prix, one of the most interesting tracks. It now holds the highest top speed in Formula One ever recorded, and also a track which is quite up in the air though because it's kind of what 7,200 feet above mean sea level.
Mhm.
So like yeah, it's quite up there. But like yeah, let's kind of see in terms of like how this is going to go. Some fast racing down there, especially in that main straight coming up.
That should be
But like
interesting.
yeah, that's coming up this week, and for us in this side of the planet, it means our time for watching races at absurd hours is officially activated. Call it the wraps. Thank you so much for tuning on to another episode of Formula Pod. I hope you guys enjoyed the fight between me and Nathan. More than a fight, I would rather call it an argument.
Oh my goodness, dude.
Jeez.
My
Jeez.
goodness. Like I
And
said.
like yeah, I feel
Please end this podcast.
I
Please.
I really feel like Mihir missed all these episodes and he's just like, oh my god, I'm so back and I just need to like get out of this again.
Yeah, dude, I'm done. Please let me have some dinner.
All right. Until next time, like as we see in Mexico, this is the entire crew from Formula Pod signing off and wrapping things off. Goodbye and have a safe ride.